Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing an unboxing for the limited run games No More Heroes 1 and 2 Collector's Edition bundle. That is so long, I don't know what this title is actually going to be, but I'm very excited. This is the first time I've ever ordered anything from limited run games, and based off of what I saw, from the promo pics, it looked really cool, so I was excited to get it. As you can see, I mean, I don't have that much No More Hero stuff. I feel like there's not really, oddly enough, there's not that much merch. I also haven't really looked too hard, but I got 1 and 2. I love those games on the Wii. They of course were remastered. I have the Switch versions, and I'm excited to get them. I wanted to play them for a while. I'm very excited for No More Heroes 3 coming up in August. I feel like I've waited for that game as long as I've been waiting for Bayonetta 3, which, because I've been waiting forever for both those games, they're both crazy, and they're both only on the Switch. I figured it was appropriate to wear my Bayonetta shirt. I also sadly don't have anything that is No More Heroes related. I just don't really look that hard, but it is what it is. So I got the complete bundle set for both 1 and 2. So this is going to be like, I think it was also 99 and 100. So that's also kind of cool that it was my very first one was like 99 and 100 out of the limited run. Let me do it this way. Get the bubble wrap off first. I love the box. So we got No More Heroes 2 here. There we go. We got our flag, which came with the bundle. If you got the actual bundle, you got both. The card is sticking to it. There we go. And then we have No More Heroes 1. That's kind of cool. You kind of see the back of his jacket. Sorry for the reflection there. So the jacket. So we got 2 and then 1 right here. There's a magnet. That's a magnet. That's the coolest thing. 10 out of 10. It's already better. They did not say they were going to put magnets in it. They said it was going to be like a full picture, which of course I'll show you guys once I flip it to the front here. But I was like, what the F? Magnets. How do those work? So that's super cool. We'll kick things off simple though. We'll start with the cards and then we'll go individually through the 2 games. Also, you can see from this side. So all this stuff I'll do kind of at the end, putting all the boxes together and everything like that, and looking at the differences that they have there. But first things first, I love these cards. So we have card number 252, which is for No More Heroes 1. That is Travis in his classic jacket with the very reflective beam katana. That's very cool. And Sylvia, I want to say is her name. It's been a super long time since I played the games, but I do believe it's Sylvia. I of course remember Travis. And then of course we have number 2. Sadly, no reflection on the beam katana there, but it is the classic one. So we have his regular one for this card, his classic blue, and then for number 2 we have, they only show him with the 1, but his main thing, which oddly enough you don't get this till decent shot. It's been, like I said, it's been a minute, but I felt like it was a while before you actually ended up picking this one up. But this was always kind of the poster one, because it's like, oh, he can kind of dual wield now, and you get the dual beam katana with like kind of the shoto, which is like 1 long blade. So basically you have like a full-size katana and then more of a wakizashi sort of deal. So 1 is longer, 1 is shorter, 1 is for attacking. Technically the other's for defending. That's how that works. So the cards are super cool. I love the reflective nature. Even from here, you can definitely see like the corners and everything are reflective. So that's super cool. I definitely enjoy that. So I'll probably just end up throwing those in the box if I'm being totally honest. Then of course we have our flag here, which is super cool. And so this is the Santa Destroya, which is the name of the, I guess technically it's just the city that he lives in. So we got our Santa Destroya flag. Nothing, nothing crazy about it, which is kind of what I figured. I was like, I didn't expect this to be like a giant thing. That would have been great if it was legit like a full-size flag. That would have been super cool. But we have like a little thing. It's more like a handkerchief than anything else because it's so tiny. It's it's like, oh, look at that. I'll stuff it in my pocket or something. But I do like that. It's super cool. And this, I believe, you can only get if you actually got the full bundle set with both games. So that's definitely a cool little addition that they throw in for people that decide to pick up both. And so we'll kick things off with No More Heroes 1. As you can see, I'll actually cut this open first so you can see it without all the insane plastic reflections and stuff. But I like the setup for the box. It's actually a large box too, because there's a lot of stuff that comes in both of these. They both basically have the same content, which is you get the game. I believe it's a soundtrack, a steelbook case, and I'm pretty sure there's something. I know there's posters. I think each one has posters, and I've seen some stuff because of course after I got this, I looked things up and it was like, unfortunately, for some odd reason, limited run games, if you didn't know this, they fold all their posters. You get posters with like every collector's edition that they put out, and for some odd reason, they fold them. They don't just send them separately in, like a tube or anything. It just is what it is. So I already knew that was going to be like the unfortunate, disappointing thing, which I'll show you guys, because if you don't know what comes with this, you're probably going to be upset like I am, because I love the poster, and it's just going to be creased. But right off the top here, we have No More Heroes. We got Travis. It is embossed, but only on the letters here, even though like pretty much everything's reflective. It's just embossed on the letters here. And oddly enough, on the back, I guess technically you would count it as embossed, but the lines on the jacket here are actually detailed. Well, no. Yeah, you can fill the buttons too. The stars that are the buttons on this jacket, you can also fill those. So the jacket on the back here is actually embossed, which is very cool. It has, of course, all the info, classic info down here at the bottom. But I like this. And then you got Travis on the side here. And once I unbox the second one, we'll match those up because it'll make Travis's full face from 1 and 2. And also on the top here, there'll be a slight difference you'll notice with the second one. So we have the orange, so keep track of that because it'll be different on box number 2. So we'll see what's in here. Oh, that's cute. That is the little tiger. There you go. I don't know, for some reason with the reflection, I'm assuming it'll come. It looks really. It almost looks not the tiger itself, but like the box here almost looks like purple, but it's totally just gray. It's just gray. So that'll probably come up a little different on my camera based off of what I just saw through my monitor. Ooh, we got some good stuff in here. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this. That's everything. All right, that is everything. And we'll just start from the top. So of course, we have our game. We got No More Heroes for the Switch. It says, what do you say, bro? It's on the back, I'm reading. What do you say, bro? Let's see how far we can take this. And so then you, of course, have Travis and Sylvia. That's super cool. And we have all our villains. Well, not all our villains. We have the most important characters. You can kind of make them out in the etching there. So we have Bad Girl, Shinobu, and I definitely don't remember this guy, but I remember you fight him in like a ballpark. And I think somebody else was in there. Oh. No, I think it's just those 3. That's interesting. It's odd that they would put him on there because I never found him to be memorable. Like, Bad Girl is super memorable. She's even been somehow brought back from the dead in No More Heroes 3, so she's super important. Shinobu is just alive. She's like the student, pretty much, of Travis. So it makes sense to have her there. And it's odd that they wouldn't just put Sylvia here or just put another woman because that's, that's kind of a whole thing. Like, Travis, like, he just loves hot women. So just something like that. So I'm kind of surprised that they put that guy there because I'm like, I don't remember his name. He only shows, most of the characters only show up one time ever. So it's a little odd to me that they put him on the front cover just because I'm like, that's odd. That's an odd choice. But here we go again. Travis and Sylvia, as you can see, like, they're more reflective than the actual background is. And that's cool. They have definitely a different feeling. Like, this has like that matte feeling to it. Classic steelbook feeling. And then, they're slick. I don't know the actual process of what you would call that, but that's what they are. And then on the back here, we actually have everybody, which is very cool. And I'll just do a full opening of that. But you have all the villains, and you can see all the wrong side. Sorry, it's mirrored. But you can see in the green, they all have the numbers. So that's actually very cool. I like that aesthetic. So hopefully they have that for the second one too. Which I don't know how they would do that because technically you fight one guy and you move up like 80 spaces. They do something really dumb in the second game where it's like technically it's like you're like 99 out of 100, and then you fight like one guy and all the cheerleaders technically count as assassins, and it takes you all the way up to like the top 10. I'm like, I was like 80 people. It was just a silly thing to do in the game, but it was just funny. Here is also the inside, which I think is very interesting to put that in there. So simple switch case, steelbook. I always find, I don't know why they make it like that. Why did they make it where the plastic tabs are here and you have the thing? Sorry, I'm looking at it mirrored, obviously, but they have the cartridge and then they also have plastic tabs. That seems very odd to me because even if you wanted to put one or the other in there, you can only put one of those things in there. You can't put the actual book, which I assume there's going to be a book in this, so we'll check that out. But you wouldn't be able to put both in here. So I find that very odd that they would make it that way, especially because that specifically is limited run games. Like, I believe you can get this. Well, no, this is limited run. So it's limited run on the bottom here. I guess when they re-released these, they were digital only, so that's what it was. So I guess technically it was pretty much all limited run games' choice as to how things went. Not that the front looks bad, but like I said, I just find it very odd that they went with like the gunslinger guy that you fight, because he just doesn't really stand out like in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I kind of remember that mostly for the fact that I don't really like that boss fight as much. Oh, okay, I was wrong. That's my bad. I'm a dumbass. You can put both because you get this itty bitty little pocketbook. That's actually really funny to me. I did not see that one coming. That is very hilarious. Also on the back, you got the Moe poster. Super cool, super cool. So that is hilarious. I feel like, when people used to walk around, they probably still do. I'm not religious, but you know how people have like those tiny Bibles? That's what I feel like with this. I'm like, I don't think any of my Switch games have this. So that's hilarious. Maybe they do, and maybe it's on the normal side. I still find that weird. but it makes a lot more sense now. So I'm like, okay, that's my bad. I jumped to conclusions. I'm a dumbass, as Charles Barkley might say. Also on the inside of this one, we have some prints, and that is just a map of the actual city itself, and obviously you can see the game right there. So that's super cool. I highly doubt I'll be switching that one out. I kind of wish you could switch this one out. It wouldn't make sense. Obviously, it's a steelbook, but I actually like the inside of this. I wish this image was actually this one, and I would assume that this is a part of the actual steelbook, so I doubt that that's just a piece of paper that's kind of printed on both sides here. But I actually would have liked that. I think that would have been really cool to have that image on the back of this, and then just have the flag, because nobody's going to replace this really cool image in the back with just a flag of the city, or a map of the city, I should say. But I still think that's very cool. This is just the funniest thing to me. I genuinely don't think I've ever seen this before. So that's crazy. But it's an actual book. It has all the characters in it. I mean, let's face it, this is better than what we normally get, which is like, hey, you want like one slip of paper that says another game is coming out soon? That's what we have nowadays. We don't get game books anymore, so I'm happy. Actually, let's do a little comparison. I didn't even think of that. Wow, I have my receipt in here. That's crazy. Nitro Bike, available now. Let's see what we got. So we'll go to like the last couple of pages. This is also in black and white. So the original thing is actually in black and white, as where this is in color. It's also done differently because we have different characters in kind of set up in different orders. So here you go with the comparisons. That does not help at all. There we go. So there's a decent little comparison for you guys. Black and white versus color. So that's actually a decent little upgrade in compact form. So I like that for sure. That's definitely pretty cool. Gonna move on to some of the other actual bonuses. The original soundtrack, which is in what I call the old school PlayStation Greatest Hits disc, or Resident Evil Director's Cut style. So that's definitely cool. I don't know when I'm actually gonna listen to this. There's no point in actually. Yeah, let's open it. I'm not reselling this. So pop this open. I'll be extra careful with this because it's a very thin layer. Yeah, much better from that side. Pop this open. See what we can get out of here. If there's any, random little booklets or anything like that. It definitely sounds like old school, where it feels super flimsy. There's a lot in here actually. Okay, so we have 3 discs. So we're gonna, once again, this dude is on the very first disc. It's not Travis. That feels super weird to me, because you think it would be, if you're gonna do 3 characters, this is actually in here very tight, which is good. If you're gonna do 3 characters, I would think you would do Travis. I'm okay that she's on the second disc. I cannot remember her name, but I remember certain things about her. And then we have Henry on the back. So this dude, I don't understand it. I mean, it should be Travis, Sylvie, and then maybe Shinobu on the 3rd disc. But like I said, I'm okay with her being there. I've always found her. It was great design for her character. Great design. Even while they're in the 2nd game. And then we have Henry on the back there for disc number 3. We've got 1 million songs. So we got 26 songs in total. Of course, here's the actual back. It's funny. I have not had a case like this, but like just moving it, you can like feel the CDs moving. It's like, wow, it's a really weird thing, but it's like that. It's a weird flashback feeling, because I'm like, whoa, I haven't felt a double case like that in a super long time. So here we get to the, sadly, creased folders, or creased posters. And so we go with our classic image. We have Travis and Sylvie, with the top to bottom. So there you go, there's our full image. And this is the thing that really upset me, because I was very excited for the thing on the other side of this, which is Travis's poster from his room. This is the poster. I don't know. This is one of those random things that's been in my brain my entire life, ever since I played the first game. He looks at the poster, and then he just looks at the camera, and he just goes, Moe. Don't know why that stuck in my head. My entire life. This poster and him saying Moe. Dumbest thing ever. But I was like, I love that. And now I finally have the poster, and it's creased. It's not the worst. It's not the worst set of creases ever. But I really wish you could just roll it up, and then it would be fine. But this is super cool. At some point, I do want to get a shirt of that, because that's always been in my brain. Now let's see if I do this wrong, and I'm doing it right. I do that every time. I would love to know if you like that, where you always fold it up the wrong way. But there we go. They're great looking posters. That's another thing. I love the quality of those 2 posters, or there's one poster both sides, but it's folded, and that sucks. So there's that. And then last but certainly not least, see if I can get this out the right way. it looks like, oh, it actually, I have no idea what this is. Okay, it actually is like folded in here. Unless I'm crazy, and we're about to find out, because that seems, yep, that seems like it's glued. This might be one of those small moments where I do a little jump cut, because I kind of want to keep it in here, but I don't think I have a choice. I think I do actually have to just rip this thing open, so we're just going to pop this bad boy off. Boom. We have No More Heroes behind the scenes. So this is definitely cool. It's a nice thin book, so it's not like the craziest thing ever. Got blue on the first. I don't know why that's important, but for some reason it's just blue, and then white on the back. Even though it comes up pink. That is super. Actually, that is pink. I'm dumb. That's actually pink. But I like this. We once again have the pretty much the same image that's actually on the poster. So that's the street without them, and then here they are again. You're gonna see that image a lot. That was like the big thing for the first game. It says limited run games on the inside. It's got the motorcycle, which is super cool. Grasshopper, marvelous. Bunch of extra stuff. Once again, great character design right there. So we got characters, illustrations. We got some stuff in here. Weapons, boss battles. It kind of seems like the bigger version of the actual pamphlet in full color. Everyone gets like an actual full page, which is very nice. So I like that. It also has their numbers on there. I do not remember this dude with the guitar. That's interesting. It's been a minute. But I like that. That's definitely cool. So that is No More Heroes 1. Collector's Edition from Limited Run Games. So we'll put that off to the side. And that will do. Actually, oh, you can see the magnets on the inside. I don't know how well that'll show up. So that's the magnet right there so that it can stick to the side. So take that off there. Put all this stuff in the back as well. And we're going to get on to part 2 of this. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I know this is a long one, but there's actually a lot to talk about with this. And they actually put a decent amount of work in this. I feel like, you know, this being my first one, and, you know, based on some of the reviews I've seen, I like what they do when they have their collector's editions. I think they do a pretty good job with it. And I think, here we go. Boom. So it's blue for this one. It was orange for the first one. I think they do a good job with these. Obviously, the weird thing with like, holy crap, there's magnets. They put some considerable work into these, and I do really appreciate that. So I'm happy I picked these up. But of course, No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. Once again, embossed lettering, embossed back. Same thing with the stars up here. Different design for the jacket, of course. Information at the bottom. Travis on the side there. I think, is this the same image? Okay, it is actually the same image. When I first picked it up, I thought it was an image of him from the first game and then one of him from the second, and it just, you know, it's just the split with the same character. But it actually is just him from the first game, and they have it on both sides too, which is actually nice. I didn't think of that when I first picked it up. It was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, because you can, you know, however you have it, you'll be able to have that cool double-sided image. So I think that's a really great way to put that, and they definitely made it where no matter what you do, it'll be number 1 and then number 2. So I think that was a really cool way to design that. That was, you know, like I said, little details like that actually matters. Also up here, that was a weird part. Also up here, these are also embossed. That's actually kind of cool. And just the normal limited run. I think this would have been, yeah, the limited run, marvelous, and grasshopper manufacturer. And so I believe pretty much everything is just about the same. Yeah, looking straight down, it's the exact same design as far as the box. So when I slide this out, you'll see it's all exactly the same. And that actually keeps it very symmetrical and simple. Flip this way, do it like we did last time. So of course, start off with the game. No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. We have Travis. I do remember that guy because he was in the first game, and then that woman. Don't remember many names. Don't remember many names at all. But I will say, both these games have amazing soundtracks, and I believe this one is the one that has Reaper Reaper, which is probably my favorite song from the whole franchise, really. And that's the only character I remember because her name is Margaret, or Marguerite. It's Greek, you geek. That is because, like, the actual lyrics of the game, lyrics of the song. So we got No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. Travis is back, and he's getting help. So there's the back of that. Very simple. You can't make out the characters as well in this one, so there you go. Hopefully, yeah, you can definitely see them when they're right up on the light. But I definitely would say that I prefer it's almost inverse, except it's black instead of, you know, it's white and red instead of black and red. But I would definitely say I prefer this just because it makes the character stand out a little bit more. As cool as it is, you know, to have them in black, I think the white just, it pops a lot more. Like the black and red blend a little bit too well. And so, a little extra piece of plastic I forgot. So we have, once again, our cute little itty bitty little thing, booklet. I couldn't think of what the heck I was trying to say there. We got Sylvia on the front, or Sylvia, sorry, and then we got Travis with this classic image. And of course, let's do another comparison, why not? So, different image, because of course they went with the special edition here, they went with the yellow, which I think is actually kind of cool, because that's super thin. That's very thin compared to the first one. Oh man, remember that game? Red Steel 2, available now. February 2010, oh my god. Wow, this game is old. I'm old, Yusuke. Yeah, this is more the modern era sort of thing. Like, you get some stuff in here, you get some stuff, but like it's minimal. It's real minimal. So we'll go with this one. We have Travis Touchdown, which I don't think even that was in there. So let's see. Oh no, Travis is in there. He that's his name right there in text, and that's it. So definite upgrade. The first one was decent, just not in color. This one is instantly a huge upgrade. Like, you get your two characters full color. It has their name. It has their print. You can barely see the beam katanas in this. Like, it has the slightest like pink outline. You can barely see that, but that's not bad at all. And then of course you go through and it has a lot of the other characters and things like that, full color. I definitely appreciate this. So this is a million times better than this. So like, this is a huge upgrade. Not that you'd really be comparing them, but just for the sake of the video, there's your little comparison. This one, a million times better. It even has concept art, which is actually super cool. So there you go. That is the woman that was on the beginning of the cover, the front of the cover there. So that's definitely cool. I definitely appreciate that. And once again, better job with the inside cover for this one, because that is actually something that I think is worth swapping out to. So I think that's very cool. I like that image. You have Sylvia, Travis is in there, and then of course Shinobu is at the bottom. You probably can't make her out too well, but you should be able to see obviously that big puff of white hair at the bottom. That is Shinobu. So I think this one's definitely much better. Like, I might actually swap this one out because I like the yellow and black. I actually think that looks really cool. I think I would still prefer, if this was, white and red, I still think this image would be better than the one on the inside, but it's definitely a much better image on the inside than, that's an image right there, than the one from the first one. So here we go. That is the actual image that is on the inside. So if you don't want to swap them out, you have it right on your steelbook. So that is it in the full color pop with the yellow/gold. Since it's reflective, it kind of comes off as more gold. And then here is Sylvia on the back with, as I said, an image. And so there you go. There's that. Inside, very simple. It's just the Santa Destroya flag, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's simple. And like how we have the flag for that, I think they totally could have had the map for the first one inside the steelbook of the first one, and it would have been like, okay, that's the map of the city. This is the flag of the city. You have, I mean, the game's over 10 years old at this point, but that was Travis's sister in that one on the inside of the first cover of that, and I feel like that definitely should have been in like the regular case. So I think that would have been a lot better, but that's a very minute thing. It's definitely fine. I'll probably end up leaving all the cases normal anyway, because I got the steelbooks to look at, so I'm not really super concerned about flipping, my regular cases inside out, but you have the option, so I think that's cool. You probably won't use it for the first one, because of course it's just the map, but you definitely get a better option if you do it for the second one. So going through here, I'm assuming we're gonna have the same amount of discs. Yep, we have 3 discs, and altogether we have 76 songs for this one. So they really upped the ante on that. Also, this is something super random because I'm sure it's not in the actual soundtrack of the first game, which would be very cool if it is, but I know that when No More Heroes first came out, there is a very specific song. It's like for a Vocaloid and stuff. And that song could not be put in the remastered version of the game because it was like there was some legal issues, so they had to change the song and stuff. So it would be very interesting if that song is actually in there, or if it is more the soundtrack from the remaster. Once again, very old school feeling. And so this one, once again, makes a bit more sense, character-wise at least. And maybe this is why they don't do it. This is exactly what I was saying. So Travis does not get number 1, but he is number 2. So we have Sylvia, we have Travis, and then, as I was saying, number 3, probably Shinobu. So very odd that this wasn't the thing for the first game, and they did it for the second one and not the first. I find that very weird, but it's still cool, and I definitely like the, it's very classic, just full silver CDs. So that's cool. And then, of course, we have our folded up poster here. The big yellow splash, I don't know where that came from either. I don't think that's anything like in the game, but I find it very interesting that that's kind of what they went with as far as like the very special edition. It was like, let's go with like a big yellow color splash. They may have done that for, I know there was like a special edition of 2 when it first came out, but maybe that's what this is based off of. But once again, you have the actual image directly from the steelbook case for this one. So this one, a lot of stuff in this I think is a bit more cohesive than the first one, where it's like, oh, here's this image, here's that image, and you know, it's a bit more varied. This one is pretty much the same, and unfortunately the same goes for the back of the poster. It is just the back of the actual steelbook. So in this case, the poster doesn't hold as much weight because it's the exact same image as it is, you know, front and back for the actual steelbook. So it doesn't hold nearly as much weight as, you know, the other steelbook, or, you know, steelbook / poster combination where you get separate images. So I think I like it more for the first one, and plus the image on the first one where it's the, you know, I forgot what it was called. It's like I think it's called Glastonbury 5. That I believe that's the name of like the anime that he watches in the game, and the game that you can play based on the anime inside the game. So the Glastonbury 5 poster image, I think that looks a lot better. Even just the regular No More Heroes image of Travis and Sylvia, I think looks a lot better than that one. Or at least as far as, you know, contrast. I think the images look great, but as far as like, oh, it has decent variety because it's not exactly the same, you know, front and back of the steelbook. I would say the first one kind of wins in that regard. And I will put this back in here. But I definitely like it. And like I said, the regular case definitely wins for No More Heroes 2. I would say the CDs win for No More Heroes 1 because the CDs just look cooler compared to just being like the classic silver style. Poster goes to No More Heroes 1. And then we'll see about the book here. I bet there was a way to do that where I didn't have to completely rip that open, and I'm just too dumb to figure it out, but oh well. So No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle, we got that classic image. Once again, a decently thin book. I think this one is probably about the same size, I'd say. Yeah, they're about the same there. This one just pops out more. It's a lot easier to kind of see from the side because of the whole black and yellow element. And Sylvie got the first cover, Travis gets the second cover. Once again, same stuff on the back, it just has the star. We have the yellow in the front. I don't know why I'm bothering to show that off. And it's yellow in the back. Let's see what we got on the inside here. So once again, we got more images. Some of this stuff is kind of the bigger version of what we got in the small concept book. So I just passed a couple of the characters that we'd already seen. And then we have some different images. So this is actually kind of cool. We have the concept art image alongside the actual 3D image of the character. So I think that's actually a really cool element. That's something that you don't tend to see too often, where, you know, that's kind of the comparison that they make between, you know, the 2D and the 3D versions of the actual characters. So that's actually kind of cool. That's actually a very cool way to do that. I'm going to see if Travis is like at the very front of this thing. We'll see what happens. There's a bunch of text off the top here. And actually no, this goes straight for the villains actually. So Skelter Helter is our first guy, who's the really weird, super fast, crazy, interesting opening boss for the second game. And then we got a bunch of text, more concept art. So once again, you know, here's just the characters, the girl with like her flute double-sided lightsaber deal going on. One of the more unique things in the game. She was the only character, I remember that being a thing for the second game, where it was like, oh, you know, you can have the you'll actually be challenged, because that was something that you could do in the first game. Like, you're challenging the people as you go up the ranks, and then in the sequel it was like, oh, we're gonna have people challenge you so they can come for your position. And they did that literally one time in the whole game, and I was like, I kind of thought that would happen more in the story, and sadly it only happened like literally the one time in the whole game. But it's fine, the games are great. I'm excited for 3. I didn't check this one, but I don't believe, oh, I was wrong, sorry about that, I missed that. But we have the Red Tiger for the sequel. There you go for that one. So both boxes, they put a lot of cool details into. They freaking put magnets in, which is the craziest thing ever to me, but I love that. I like all the contents. Everything's pretty much the same. You get music, you get the game, you get the book, you get the steelbook as well. And so we're gonna put these bad boys together first. So boom, there he is, split in half. Travis, touchdown. So No More Heroes 1 and 2, and then if you want to put them together and you get your complete image. Boop. Decent magnets too. That's actually really good strength for these magnets. Like, clearly that pop together shows their strength. So mine are like a little bit, tiny, itty little bit misaligned. Like, I mean, I can literally hold one end of the box. Like, you can see how it's kind of misaligned there. I'm literally holding just one box, and this thing that's really good. That's a strong magnet. So that's good. Wish it was, you know, just a little bit more aligned. But that's something I think I could do myself. I could literally just pull the magnet and then kind of just slide it over a little bit and just re-glue it. So there you go, full image. I mean, you can do it with one hand, do it top, bottom, however you want to do it. There you go. No More Heroes 1 and 2, limited run games, collector's editions. Sorry that this was a very long video, but I think it was actually worth it. Like they actually had a lot of decent stuff to check out individually. As I said, going through pretty much as I was getting through the second one, as far as comparisons between both versions and what I think kind of wins for every little element, toss it in the back here. Going with the games themselves, I would say that No More Heroes 2 definitely wins. As far as the regular covers, I would go No More Heroes 1. I think is definitely good. There's literally no comparison in any way, shape, or form between the Santa Destroy map and then, you know, this very vibrant poppy thing. I mean, it doesn't even say the actual thing. Like, that's another thing. Like, this literally says the title of the game. That in itself is like, well, you kind of beat out something that just says Santa Destroyer. Not that it's ugly. I mean, it kind of is. It's just, it's a brown map. It's not even like a cool colored map. But obviously, outside covers, I give it to No More Heroes 1. Inside covers, you know, reversible covers, I give it to No More Heroes 2. As far as the booklets themselves, I'd say it's kind of a draw. They both have full color. They give extra information and all that. So I would personally count those as even. Not going through like every little minute detail as far as what they do and don't have. So I would kind of count those as even. As far as the steelbooks, individually, this isn't going with like the whole poster thing. I would, that's actually kind of a tough one because I really like the front of the second one more than the first one, but the back of the first one I think is great. Like, I love the back of this with the actual villains. Not that I hate this image in any way, shape, or form, but I really like having all the villains. I was kind of hoping that that's what the image would be. It would just be, you know, in the sort of yellow and black aesthetic. I was really hoping it would be the exact same thing. Like, you just have the characters on the front, all the villains on the back with their numbers, which, like I said, even when I open this one, it would be a little hard to do that with the giant mech and all the weird stuff there. But technically, it was still like the exact same amount of villains. So I think they could have done it, but I'm totally fine with it. And I just realized that actually says No More Heroes, but you can't possibly read that. It just says, you know, like you can kind of tell that says no up there. So that's a cool little feature that they totally didn't have to put in because you can't even read it anyway, but that's actually kind of cool. So I guess if I had to pick, man, I do love this image. This image on the front is really good, but I think I'd have to pick just because I like the back of this one so much more. And I do like this image. I think it's a really good image. Whoops. Totally forgot that was on there. I do like this image and I think it's good. This one's just better on the front, but the back just, I don't know, something about the back of this image I think is just really good. So I would probably go No More Heroes 1 Steelbook as far as the better Steelbooks. As far as the music, it's totally based on visuals, you know, not going off the actual music of the games or anything, just based on the visuals. I would go with the first one just because, like I said, the discs, they're just more stylized. I find it very odd that the first game is the one that does not have, like, who I would consider the three main characters, which are Travis, Sylvia, and Shinobu. I find that very odd, but it is what it is. I do like that they're actually in full color at the very least, even though the disc itself is normal, the characters are in full color, so that's cool. And the first one also has just Travis's face, a little bonus there. So I would definitely go with the first one just because the CDs themselves are stylized. And as far as the behind the scenes stuff, I would say it's the same as far as the actual concept books. They kind of break even for me. They're about the same. They pretty much, you know, they have characters and stuff. As far as upgrades, this obviously is a huge upgrade compared to the original two, which has, you know, a couple of pages, and even the information they have in this from that one, they add pictures, they add color. So as far as an upgrade, I think 2 definitely outweighs 1 just for upgrade from the original images that we have there. So we'll go 2 on top. So we got that, and then of course I won't unfold the pictures as far as the posters go, but I'll definitely pick this one. I mean, this is literally the same as the steelbook, which just kind of devalues the poster because it's like it's not even anything different to look at. But you know, I mean, the fact that they're folded, I won't really count that. But if we're just going based off the images and what they add to the actual package, this one definitely adds more. Like, you have 2 separate images that, I mean, technically the, you know, the front image shows up like 3 or 4 times. It's this picture, but the back image you don't have anywhere else except on the back of the original, or I should say the reboot thing here. So other than that, you don't see the Glastonbury 5 image anywhere. So I definitely say the poster wins as far as the posters there. But all in all, I think it's really good. I definitely like everything that we got here. I really love the games. I love all the extra content that we got out of all of this. I think everything was totally worth it. So I would love to know your thoughts on it. Like I said a little bit ago, sorry that this video was super long, but I wanted to do a full comparison for this, especially with it being like the first time I ever had a limited run game. So I really want to kind of do my due diligence with this one. So I know it's a very long one, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. I would love to know your favorite parts. I also didn't mention this. I like this. There's nothing to compare it to. It's cool. It's tiny, but it's cool. But I would love to know your thoughts on both versions, either together or separately. No More Heroes 1, or No More Heroes 2 as well. Which version did you guys get? If you ended up getting any of them, there's a lot of good stuff here. I would say it's definitely worth the money. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it's cheap compared to some of the other things that I've seen on there, especially to get both. I think this is actually like one of the cheapest kind of big collector's editions, I guess you could say. So I think even getting both of these together, I think was cheaper than a lot of the things I've seen before, where it was just one game and some, you know, extra bonus stuff with it. So I think it was definitely a great value. Obviously, it's too late to get it now unless you get it resale, which, you know how that goes. So definitely worth picking up. I think it was really cool. Obviously, the poster thing I already expected because I watched other reviews, but I do wish they would put them in tubes or something, or just make something else. I mean, just don't do posters anymore and just do like a silly coin or something. I don't know. That couldn't possibly be as cheap as, you know, doing posters, but you know, something else. But I definitely like this. I'm definitely glad they had it. I'm looking forward to No More Heroes 3, like I said. Would love to know what you guys are looking forward to or expecting, or I mean, I don't know how you can expect anything. It's No More Heroes. Who the F knows what's going to happen? We're dealing with actual aliens now, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, it just fits. So we'll love to know your thoughts on everything coming up for No More Heroes 3. Like I said, definitely want to know what you guys like about this. Your favorite things, least favorite things. What would you guys have put in here? What would you kind of moved around, swapped around? If there are any images or characters that you kind of wish showed up. Also forgot these are in here. I think everybody gets cards. I think they do that for every limited run release. So I would love to know, like, what characters do you kind of wish had a little bit more show? And it's like I said, we got to see Henry, who is Travis's brother. You know, spoilers, I guess, for the over 10-year-old game now. But we got to see Henry in the first disc. For some reason, the gunslinger dude, I don't know why he got some play. I'm like, of all the characters, like, he was probably one of the least memorable characters ever. So that was, just super weird to me. But we'd love to know your thoughts on everything in this. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite things about it. Like I said, least favorite things. Sorry, I had to reach my remote because I dropped it. I do have another one coming up as far as limited run games that probably won't be for a super long time. But I did get the Scott Pilgrim, like, full KO giant box crazy massive edition because I love Scott Pilgrim. So that'll be coming up. Who the F knows when? Probably not till the end of the year, but wanted to let you guys know so you can look forward to that in a couple of months. But thanks for checking this out. Like I said, want to know everything you guys are thinking about this one, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.